Hi everyone, Ham here. I'm at my local library. Just dropped my kid off for a library program. They are fantastic. If you don't take advantage of the public library in your community, I suggest it. It's always free learning, really cool stuff. Kids get to interact within their age group approximately. And get to explore things with like science and music and all sorts of fun stuff, especially during the summertime when they're out of school. So if you don't want to pay for dance or baseball or whatever that may be, it's definitely a great option as far as getting your kids to continue to socialize during the summer, and it's always free and educational. So a little something happened while I was in there, and this is going to be a rant a little bit, tapping my fingers on the park bench right now. And in no way am I talking down about this particular family or the children, because kids, as we all know, cannot help it. They do what they're taught, and I commend the grandma for stepping in and kind of putting an end to the situation. But there were these little boys, about I'm not really sure how old. I want to say like 3, 4, and 5, somewhere like in that range. Maybe like one was 2.5, but he's talking well, so who knows. And they're taking the blocks and they're like making toy guns out of them. And one of them, the youngest one, is like, "Hey grandma, I made a razor blade," or whatever, right? And apparently it sounded like one of their fathers was a police officer. What in the ever-loving hell possesses parents in my age group, even older, to expose their kids to weapons and bullshit? Like, what happened to freaking farm animals in baseball? Like, wait till they're like at least 7. Like, I'm not judging the fact that you can't play pretend. I mean, like, I grew up at a time where like kids were always playing with guns and all that kind of stuff, fake guns. I get it. But I think the mentality is like, why? Like, there's so many other things. Like, it's almost like we can't wait. I feel like we especially this generation, like we oversaturate them because we're bored, because we grew up in the age of the internet where everything's just handed to us quickly, knowledge, everything, where things aren't like at a slow pace. And it's like before they're even 4 years old, they've had every toy in the toy store, they're bored. And there's no like slow pace of life. There's no like playing outside, which is why I wanted to do Tinkergarten in the first place, which by the way is kind of a flop, only because you have to fill your own classes, and the area in which I live, people are not exactly the outdoorsy type. They're afraid to get dirt under their fingernails, and probably give their kids guns at like 2 years old and like tell them to suck on the barrels. Like, I don't even know. Like, I am so like appalled in a way. But anyway, in this particular situation, the grandma stepped in, whatever, not judging that. It just made me think, I wasn't, they were just, that was whatever. But I just realized, like, kids are just so oversaturated, overexposed, like, before they even freaking get into preschool, elementary school. Like, what happened to just, like, playing with a stick or a rock? Like, you go into other kids' playrooms and, like, at my house, like, yeah, the toys are starting to build up. My kids, getting to an age where, like, they've been around for a little while. And, I've given them stuff from when I was a kid, and, like, the nieces and nephews come over. So there's an amount of stuff. But, like, not as much as, like, I see at other people's houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm this awesome, freaking some teenage girls sort of walking by. I'm not saying like I know more or that I do something better than somebody else. I'm just saying, like, just in my last video of being like considerate, like, just be conscious of like the world around you. Don't just phone it in. People just phone that shit in, like I don't like, it breaks my heart. It makes me not even want to like be out in public. People just don't, they just like and if you're one of these moms, like, you should reevaluate yourself. Like, from what I'm about to say, like, your husband probably hates you. Like, let's just be real. The moms in the stores that are like, yep, honey, yes, you can have that. Nope, Joey, sit down, okay. And they all talk like that. Like who does that? Why do people do that? Why do people talk like that? Is it like a new thing? Okay, I'm gonna go to Target and I'm gonna get this, and Joey, sit down. No, mommy said no. Honey, to the husband, Joseph, no, I don't want that. Like, oh my friggin' God, like, come on. What happened to just like being normal? Like, everyone is putting on such an act. It's like, cringe. I can't relate to like 99% of the people around me. And it's not because I'm being weird or doing anything wrong. I'm just like being honest with the world. Like, I'm being, look at my gray t-shirt, my blue sweatpants. Like, who fucking cares? F word, I know, sorry. I've kind of, But yeah, just the whole like weapons and guns thing. Like, yeah, kids are gonna like see things and they're gonna want to imitate it, but all the shows and everything, like, tune into PBS until they're a certain age. Like, my kid just is starting to be allowed to watch Disney Junior, and it's more or less because I don't want commercials. Then they want to buy everything. And just like the language of the kids, like in the library just before, like, I want to win, you lose. Like, oh my God, like, it's like aggressive competition. And I don't know if that just comes with having siblings, but like my kid's the only child, but like, come on, people, like, you will feel so much better about yourself. And like, yes, I am being a little judgmental in this video. Normally I know I'm not, but it's like, you know you're being weird. You know deep down when you sit down and say your prayers at night, you know you're like not being yourself. Okay? Like, it's not even like normal. Joey, sit down. No, mommy said no. No, you can't. Do you want fruit roll-ups or Doritos for lunch? Like, no. Or like, people like let their kids cry and like just like they don't want to deal with it. Like they ask them, like, are you ready to leave yet? And the kid's like, no! Come on, Joseph, like, do you want to, like, is it time to go? Don't ask, don't give options, you just pick them up and you go. Like, bottom line, be more confident, be more aware of your surroundings, be more aware of what's like realistic and what's like appropriate, age appropriate. Do your research. You have all this freaking internet around you. Why not like use it for good? And I'm not just saying like, oh, I'm teaching my kid the ABCs, I'm teaching my kid this and that, manners. Like, yeah, manners. But educate yourself on like what's age appropriate. I don't know. I don't care if my kid's dorky. Like, I'd rather them like be ready when it's time to be exposed to those sort of things. I know, funny, right? Yeah, so if you're one of those parents who just kind of like phone it in, throw candy at your kids when they're being bad to like give them the sugar rush so that they're even more bad, because you'd rather just be socializing with your girlfriends with your wine. Like, I can't relate. Can't relate, people, can't relate. And it's not that I don't understand the fun in it, or like the, you know, I just want to be lazy, just want to be easy, but like, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Like, you're the one who's like creating this world and creating this disaster because you're refusing to live in reality and you're just phoning it in. You can make things a lot easier for yourself and your kids. Kids whine and scream and complain because their needs aren't being met. Ever think of that? You think you're doing the right thing, but like, rethink about it, reevaluate what's going on in your household if you're having issues. And don't be the mom in the store that's like, oh, yeah. We all have our moments. Yeah, you know, I scream and yell too, but like, not over like the dumb shit. Not like just for the sake of making a scene because you want to be seen as like the mom in the store with the 4 kids. Joey, sit down. And always with the big mouth and the big eyes. Honey, don't do that. Mommy said no. Do you want applesauce? Okay, we will get applesauce. Like, what do you, like, and it's not, it's everywhere. I see this constantly in like every store. Like, why are you talking like that? Your husband's probably like, why did I marry her? I'm sorry, being a little judgmental today, but I'm not perfect either. I still like you. Just giving you a little advice. Tough love. I'm known for that. Tough love, people. Tough love. So be good. It's a nice day out today. I hope it is by you too. I still love you. I still think you're beautiful. And yeah, rant over. Bye. Read to your kids.